Somewhere west of Oamaru, lost in the sprawling farmland, lies an unusual home. What used to be just an acre of dirt is now an earth sculpture, covered in gardens and teeming with life. Visitors are welcome throughout the year. Some come to learn organic gardening and building, but many more come in autumn for a small community festival. When Peter Jenkins bought this acre, he simply wanted to have his own piece of land. The unique home that it has become was built over the past 14 years.
I think the idea to build this place came from the place after I'd bought it. So this is like a square paddock in the middle of nowhere with no privacy. And I want to move here and have privacy, but I worked out that the easiest way to create privacy was to spend $2,000 on a digger and build a huge big earth wall around me. And then you don't get nosy neighbours looking in, sort of complaining to the council or anything like that.
Peter's home lies about 20 kilometres northwest of Oamaru, in the middle of a green, pastured desert. It was named the Arena for its amphitheatre shape that becomes an ideal site for the festival during Easter weekend.
And like inside the ring here, I can imagine on the inside there's going to be just lots and lots of garden trees. There's already some cherry trees growing. And the waterway travels right the way around the inside. And we'll probably have frogs in there one day. Fish, not sure yet. Might have crocodiles.
Today the walls are no longer empty, and little critters have settled in the pond. But how did Peter know how to build all of this?
My first trade is in metals engineering, and then I've got plastics engineering trade as well. And after that I sort of went into business for myself, and I was a builder, and I made furniture, recycled and artistic kind of furniture. And the government changed the rules and completely collapsed my business.
Luckily, Peter's creative drive didn't stop there. He has built several mobile homes, a greenhouse in the shape of a geodesic dome, even limestone art and glasswork around the property. Peter's home saves a lot of power by using a solar panel, and a more elemental form of heating. This trailer home is a neat piece of engineering, designed to fold out into several rooms, doubling in size, and to fold back in like a box when it needs to go on the road.
I think things have happened the way they have here because I've had the time to do it. So I don't have a mortgage and I don't have like a full-time job, so that gives me time to be who I am and to learn about things. And like if you start a garden, pretty soon you know that you've got to need fertiliser and you need like nice soil and all this stuff. So the learning actually you learn because it's right there. At the arena, I guess I'm creating a human habitat with a few design principles, permaculture, organics, and also time, so that what I'm building here is good for 1,000 years.
The gardens at the arena are designed on the principles of permanent agriculture, permaculture for short. This design philosophy looks at the patterns found in nature, anything from a forest to a pond. It studies how different species in nature manage to coexist in a sustainable way. A variety of plants and animals in a garden like this provides all the necessary fertiliser and pest control, keeps the soil rich and fertile, removing the need for synthetic sprays or intensive irrigation. Peter has built his garden on the side of the wall. It resembles a food forest more than a square veggie paddock. A multitude of plants grow side by side in a dense, multi-layered food basket that attracts insects, birds, as well as humans.
Here we have silverbeet. Oops, there's a wee frog. This is borage. This is medicinal, uplifting. There's a little patch of strawberries right there. Pear tree and more silverbeet. One of the stronger principles of permaculture is about the food and how close it is to your house. So instead of food coming from supermarkets which are kilometres away and that food travelling hundreds or if not thousands of kilometres to get to the supermarket, here we can just like walk out and pick a salad within a few metres of the kitchen. We can harvest winter vegetables and vegetables right throughout the year by just walking a few metres. So it's about being smart about the way that we design an environment. It's about nourishment, it's about short distances, it's about aesthetics and just bringing that just natural abundance from nature and close to the kitchen and close to the house.
But what are we to do with all the waste we produce? At the arena, human waste is turned into compost for the fruit trees. None of it is flushed away into the waterways.
This is the little toilet sign. 1 handful of sawdust per poo will do, and please close the lid. Now it's as simple as that. The sawdust provides carbon for the composting. Now also, with the sawdust sitting around all the matter, it keeps the thing aerated. So later on when we go and dump the drum around the fruit trees, it won't smell because the air will be around amongst all the composting material. I planted this tree 4 years ago. This is the first year that it's had fruit.
Food scraps make wonderful compost for the veggie garden. With help of tiger worms, human food can be transformed into plant food within 3 weeks. With so much organic waste in every household, do we really need more fertilizers made from fossil fuels? The earth walls cannot protect Peter's home from the reality outside. The oasis Peter has built is now threatened by his closest neighbour, dairy farming.
So when I came here 10 years ago, it was sheep farming. That was it. The rivers were quite clean. It was low intensity farming. Now we're into industrial dairy farming. So that means that's just a catastrophic change. The rivers are very, very dangerous to swim in. The water that comes out of my tap, because it comes from a river, even though it's got chlorine, that's very, very dangerous water. It's like you treat it as toxic, because it will be quite often. Poisoning of the land with nitrogen and cadmium and all the other toxic things that they put, or fertilisers that they use, you know, that's all around me. The herbicides, the pesticides. This farming environment is very, very toxic. I would never, ever move to a place like this, and I didn't. When I moved here, this wasn't like it. It's all happened in like 10 years. The complete annihilation of like what was a sustainable system. This is like the cows just walk backwards and forwards through here, through the river. And when it floods, which it often does, the water goes over the top of all that mud and just carries a whole layer of mud and shit down into the river and out to sea. And you can see, like, look at that, the white bits of scum. They're just like floating down. It's just going to flow straight into into the river, and where people are swimming and trying to catch fish in Takanui, this is like where their water's coming from, this sludgy black shit from dairy. I've found cattle in this river and phoned the regional council, and I've said I've got a photo that proves, you know, the cattle are in the river, and they said, oh, those photos can be falsified, you know. So I thought that I was like trying to help them keep the waterways clean, and their response was to accuse me of like photoshopping these photographs. That's how interested they were.
Surrounded by the farming landscape, just grass for miles around, the arena seems lush and buzzing with life. But it's also quite vulnerable.
2 years ago, the bees just like were there one week, gone the next, and they actually took all the honey with them, and I don't know where they went, but I've tried to get a hive started since then and had like a bit of difficulty. In this environment, like, I'm sort of like a wee island, so if there's an environmental sort of chemical storm that comes through, a plume from some farmer spraying something somewhere, that could be one of the reasons why the bees moved out.
Kenny, wait! You're just sitting there, go!
Many folks come to stay with Peter throughout the year. Most of them are woofers, which stands for Willing Workers on Organic Farms, an increasingly popular way for young people to travel. They exchange their labour for free accommodation and food, while also gaining experience and new skills.
So I guess what's evolved with this arena is it's become quite popular as a learning place, and I really enjoy it. I really enjoy, you know, for instance, showing other people how to make a stone wall and then getting them to make a wee stone wall or a large one, and then they find out how to do it. And people come and do woodwork and metalwork and work an old blacksmith's forge or whatever, and it's quite cool to have those people around.
Some like the skills that they learn so much that they stay at the arena for months.
It's been awesome to stay in here for, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks and learning about organic and permaculture and building and veggie gardens.
And I really enjoy this place because I can learn a lot about mobile homes and organic gardens. I'm very interested in this and I really enjoy the time here.
I think the most important thing that Pete is doing in my mind is accessible small-scale infrastructure with recycled materials. It's a haven that braids together economic security with ecological security.
I'm not doing it because I want other people to adopt it. I'm just doing it because I like it. But I think it's I think we all need to think about like living in a sustainable way, and so like I've got the time and the resources to like put a lot of energy into that and learning about it. So, and young people really like it.
It's the time of the Autumn Arena Festival, a community of people Peter has been gathering for the last 7 years. The field outside fills up in a day. And the arena is suddenly full of people. Families and kids, artists and performers, people from all over the country and from overseas. There are different workshops on permaculture, flax weaving, acrobatic balance, even a Native American sweat lodge, to name a few.
I just like looked around and it didn't really seem like there was many stable communities of people. I just thought it'd be kind of nice to have people come together for a little festival every year, and it needed to be 4 days long so that people would eat together and hang out together and do workshops together and make music and dance together. You know, for 4 days is a good amount of time. If I can invite, say, 150 people and it costs me $2,000 for like this really amazing gathering of people, it's not just like a party, you know, it's like this community and this permaculture workshops and all these things. So I can, like, what better way to spend my money is to like just give 150 people all this like beautiful gift of this weekend.
On the final evening of the festival, people celebrate with a communal hangi, followed by a night of music and performance.
Sleeping alone, curled up now in my bed at home.
Mostly it always pays for itself, just. But in the past it actually has like cost, but that's okay. It's once again social capital, you know, it's that investing money in creating or investing in real wealth.
However, this may be the last Autumn Arena Festival. The degradation caused by the industrial dairy farming and the disconnect with a local community have driven Peter out in search of a new home. He's headed for Golden Bay, where many sustainable communities are based.
Yeah, well, I thought that I needed to sell this place to so I could buy up there, but now I'm looking at alternative ways of like creating money up in the bay to build another arena, and so that's what I want to do. I want to move to the bay and build another arena. But here I've started so many sort of amazing things that I want to finish those projects that I've started here.
Now Peter has to find a way to keep the Oasis alive.
We're doing research into crowdfunding and alternative ways of funding this arena. So like at the moment we're wanting to build a pond here and stock it with fish for people to eat, as well as, you know, nature and that. So we're thinking that people could buy a food ticket through the South Island and they'd be able to get free veggies on the way and do a bit of gardening and visit a place like this and have a camp, like a freedom camping place, you know.
In today's world, sustainability is a critical issue. Peter's lifestyle is just one way of addressing it. But in the times of climate change and corporate ownership, one thing is certain. Local communities can find resilience by knowing how to grow their food, manage waste, and build out of recycled materials.
You know, having a festival and having this food and having this land and having this community, that's like real wealth. And I feel like in today's society, if you say the word wealth, people would automatically connect that with money. And then there's the future, like, look at that. The wealth of like what's going to be here in a year or next week or in a few years. Like, and that really useless society that we've got out there, it's almost like the world's degrading. There's less wealth, and less environmental wealth, less social wealth in the planet every year, because it's all just being gobbled up by big corporates. Whereas, like, you know, you can see in this place there's like future wealth. Maybe we need to be thinking more about that.
And then Flopsy and Mopsy remembered what the fiddler had said. Maybe the bumblebee wants to be their friend. And so Flopsy and Mopsy came up to him and they offered their hand and they said, do you want to learn how to bounce like us? Do you want to learn to do the bunny hop? And together they showed the bumblebee how to do the bunny hop. Hearing this jovial sound, the dragon awoke.
Just walking down the street, you gotta look and stop and see. We're swinging, taking a slide. We're singing, the smiles are wide. We're singing, we gotta come along, the party's just begun. We're doing nothing wrong. Would you like to share? The winds are strong and the sun is the bee. With the best people you ever meet. We're singing, we're glad you came along. The party's just begun. We're doing nothing wrong. We've been sharing the sun.
Ready to go, say bye-bye. All right, final batteries. Hello, beautiful. Go into the balloon.